I'm Scotty. You're not. I did not want to start the video out this way, but I couldn't find my clicker. Fell off the table. Anyway, so I started from the other side. Welcome back to Birth Month 2026. This is slowly starting to become the long lost month of movies that I watched when I was a kid, maybe once or twice, and then haven't watched in years. And to go with that, we are talking about a movie called StepMonster from 1993, starring Alan Thicke, George Gaines, Robin Riker, the gorgeous Amy Dolans, the not so gorgeous Corey Feldman, Edie McClurg, John Astin, and Billy Corbin. That's new. So, Kid Scotty enjoyed this as a goofy monster comedy film. Adult Scotty is going, who is behind this film? So the director is Jeremy Stanford. I don't know who that is, but it's produced by Roger Corman. Okay? The story was written by Fred Olen Ray, director of Alienator, which I haven't talked about, but I want to. And it just, this is a PG-13 horror comedy movie. Came out in 1993, produced by Roger Corman, and written by Fred Olen Ray, and they aired it on the Disney Channel. Yes, they aired it on the Disney Channel in the mid to late 90s. You know, when it was da-na-na-na-na-na. Yes, that. You know, there are a lot of things on Disney Channel that they wouldn't air now. There's no way this would air there. What else did I watch? Paper Brigade. Paper Brigade, I can see them airing. This was on there. They aired Back to the Future movies, but only 2 and 3. They never aired the first one. And I think it's because that one has the most cussing in it, and they just cut it out. It also has... I really don't know anything else, but, yeah. So, this movie surprised me in more ways than one, and it's... So I want to say that I liked it, but also I have issues with this movie. Namely, that this is one of those movies that is written where things are happening because we could do certain things in this movie. There are plot points in this movie. Oh, we're going to do this. Well, that can't happen, or the movie would be over. Oh, we're going to do this. Well, that can't happen, or the movie would be over. There are few times in this movie where, if anyone stopped to actually think about this whole situation, the movie wouldn't happen. It just... Right? And as I'm going through this, you are going to constantly ask yourself, this aired on Disney Channel? Because there's a lot. Oh, another movie that aired on Disney Channel, A Gnome Named Norm. Remember that one? That's another weird one. That's a good movie, though. I watched that a few years ago. A Gnome Named Norm. Or Gnome World, or whatever the hell it was called. I don't know what it was called. But, I did that for Birth Month a few years ago. But, I should do a top 10 list of the weirdest Disney Channel movies. Weirdest movies to air on Disney Channel, I should say. Not Disney Channel movies. The mid-90s were when Disney Channel had weird stuff on it. But then, when the 2000s came around, once the Zoog era happened, it became a little more family-focused. And now it's all girly-focused. I mean, look at Disney Channel now. The main color is purple. A lot of the shows have female leads. That's why they had Disney XD for the boys. And there's not much on there either, so we're Phineas and Ferb, maybe some Star Wars or something. Anyway, so let's get into this movie. So, the cast. Let's talk about the cast. The cast, Alan Thicke, one of my favorite TV dads from Growing Pains, plays the dumbest fucking character in this movie. And again, it's one of those, he has to be written this way, or it would be over. But his stupidity is not just to the stuff going on around him, but to a specific scene we'll get to, where there are 2 times I yelled at him through the TV. Because he's such an idiot. We also have Robin Riker, who I would know later from Brink and Don't Look Under the Bed, the 2 Disney Channel movies. I did not realize it was her until I was looking for this movie. I finally found it on YouTube, and her picture on the one I watched on YouTube, that's where I watched it. Her picture, I'm like, well, that's Robin Riker. She is the stepmom? Or StepMonster, whatever. Amy Dolenz. And she walked on screen. There's the thing with the babysitter. She walked on screen and I'm like, the goddess has arrived. She is the goddess of all goddesses of the 80s and the 90s. Yes, Amy Dolenz. And then Corey Feldman walks in and I go, what are you doing here? Like, what? And Edie McClurg is the physiatrist, and I'm like, yeah, that checks. Also, since I've been using Wikipedia as sort of a backup for me, to help me with my memory, because my memory is... So, I'm going to be frank with you. You can be whoever you want, but I'm going to be frank. You may notice the glare on my glasses. I've been using this a lot. It's not because I'm cheating and I'm just reading verbatim what it is. It's because I think I could do this one without it, but I just need help sometimes. Because I've pointed out several times as well that it leaves certain things out. You know, when I did the Mighty, I mentioned they missed a couple of scenes. So, but I also noticed, since I'm using Wikipedia for a backup, that they get things out of order quite frequently. So we're going to go ahead and start. And we start after the opening with art supplies. But then we have a family on vacation. And it is our main boy Todd, played by Billy Corben, and his parents, George, who's played by Alan Thicke, and Abby, played by Molly Cheek. What a name. They stop at a sign that says no hunting, Chob Popkins only. And you can only hunt Chob Popkins. And it just so happens that Todd has a comic that details what Chob Popkins are. They couldn't come up with a more realistic monster. They made up their own, Chob Popkins. It couldn't be a goblin or a gremlin or an ogre. Let's make up one. Because the design is very goblin, gremlin, ogre-like. Once you see her true form, it's like, you could just call it an ogre? And they hear a noise, but they don't see it. Todd doesn't see it, but he does find a giant chicken-like footprint, which apparently is their footprint. Yeah. It matches it. Then we meet this woman. They don't mention the dad till now. We later find out this is Denise. And this is the point of the show where we call Denise and we hang up on her. It's ringing. Now's the part of the show where we call Denise, the guy Denise has been seeing, and we hang up on him. I'm gonna kill you. Tell me something you get that reference. Anyway, so this is Denise, who is, you know what? Robin Riker's too old for me, but she is gorgeous. Hell, Amy Dolan's is too old for me, but she's still a gorgeous woman. Both of them are gorgeous women. I don't remember the mom enough. We see her at the beginning and see her at the end. I don't. No. But so one night a monster chases the mom through the woods and wraps her in a cocoon. Todd goes to live with his grandparents after the mother's disappearance, and 6 months later, the dad arrives and says, "Hey, I'm going to marry this woman named Denise. Don't you remember we met her in the woods randomly? The same time your mom disappeared? Nothing wrong with that." And I'm sitting here, I'm watching this, I'm like, so the whole movie I'm waiting to find out about Trump Hopkins. I'm waiting for him to say, well, they put people under spells. But no, there's no spell, she has him under some kind of voodoo. No. He's just a fucking idiot who fell in love with a strange woman the same time his wife disappeared. They write him so stupid. They write him so stupid. Everyone but Todd believes she is deep, by the way, but yeah, they're gonna get married, and he immediately is like, no, wait a minute, Dad, no, no. He's like Seth Rollins, no, no way, no, no, no way, no. My dad said he gonna get married, and I said no. But yeah. And even the grandparents are like, "What are you doing? It's been 6 months. 6 months. I can see it was been 2 years, or even a year. But 6 months? No. No. And of course, he's suspicious of Denise. Why wouldn't you be? But yeah. We see Todd is peeping Tom, watching Amy Dolan's in her underwear, and this is where you're sitting there watching and going, "This was on the Disney Channel." I can imagine maybe they cut this scene or something, but it is sort of important to the plot in a way. But we see her in her underwear so much. And this is a Roger Corman film, and I can only imagine he wanted her to be naked, but they went, no, this is a kid's film. Because you know how Roger Corman is with female nudity in his movies. This is what they compromised on. I don't got any production details on this thing, so yeah. And I want to quote Back to the Future here. He's a peeping Tom. Yeah. So Denise eats some jogger, and this makes no sense. She eats the jogger. The next morning, the dad's reading a newspaper. Looks like a jogger went disappearing last night. How would it already be in the morning newspaper? If it happened that night, how would it have already been in the newspaper? It makes no sense. It would make sense if it cut to a couple days later. But why would it be if it disappeared that night? That night, it would not be able to be in the newspaper because they produce the newspapers at night so they can be delivered in the morning or even earlier that day and night. Because you get papers delivered in the morning all the time. So there's no way that would be in that day's newspaper. The next day's maybe. So they decide to go out, and they hired a babysitter, which is Wendy. And Todd's all ready to, that. But then her boyfriend, Flem, played by Corey Feldman, this is where I'm like, what are you doing here? And like, I saw the name Flem in the credits, and I'm like, is that like a monster? No, it's just his name. And they just make it out on the couch. And like, so Todd is trying to explain about Trepopkins. But Corey Feldman basically gives us Denise's motivation. Because he's like, maybe she's got to get this done by the summer solstice. Because that's when Trepopkins can get pregnant. And it just so happens to be the wedding day. But that's sort of just, he's like, oh, that's what's going on. And then everyone still just doesn't believe him. Todd is trying to take pictures of Denise, stalking a Paperboy, becoming a monster. Yeah. So he gets Wendy to take him to get him developed. And she freaks out because the first photos, I do like the guy who hands him the photos, looks at her and goes, you photograph well. She's like, what? And like, a bunch of photos that he took of her in her underwear. And conveniently, this is where I'm like, okay. Conveniently, all the photos he took of Denise are blurry. Every single fucking one of them. And I went, okay, this is... I mean, there's another way to do this. I understand that they couldn't have proof yet. But I felt like she sees the picture and believes him. So he has an ally here. Not that it would matter, but she does learn and then just sort of doesn't... But... No. They're blurry. You could have just showed her, seen it, and then like it's destroyed or something. But like, so Todd finds a box that Denise has, and inside is something called the giant bat-like monster called the what is he called? Where is it? What is it? The harpy. It's a harpy. So, yeah. So, because no one believes his claims, they sent him to see a psychiatrist, played by Edie McClurg. And basically it's just like, he tells her everything and she just ignores it and says that he's got psychological problems and it's just, every time someone new comes along, it's a step-parent. And I understand what she's trying to say. All right, because I've dealt with two stepdads. One was a monster, the other one not so much. He has anger issues, but everyone does. But the other one, when I say monster, I mean monster. Not like this bitch monster, but a human monster. Just saying. But, yeah, no one believes him, and she just trying to analyze him rather than... See, and that's the problem with psychiatrists, is they're not there to actually listen to you, they're there to analyze you. You can tell them anything in the world, and they're just going to take it, analyze it, and come up with whatever hoodoo it is so they can make their money. They're not going to actually figure out what's wrong with you. They're just going to spit out whatever hoodoo they want to get the money that they're owed. That's why I say I'm never going to go to a psychiatrist. Let me be cuckoo, okay? So, and this here is where things are out of order, because it has Denise eating the psychiatrist before they buy the comic, which is not how it happens. So we get to the comic book shop, we see Sean Whalen, who is eating Oreos, or cake or something, and it's from Amber. That's a Got Milk reference. Amber. Sean Whalen. You know, the guy from People Under the Stairs. So they find the comic book. And again, I roll my eyes a little bit. They find the comic book, the only comic book that will tell them Denise's weakness. And they play up that they really need this comic to find out her weakness. They've already revealed to the audience her weakness, but our characters need to learn the weakness. Yeah, in an earlier scene, so it's revealed that Todd is supposed to play the violin. Don't make your kids play instruments, especially if they're bad at it. My sister played the saxophone. She was terrible. Apparently my mom says she got better, but when I lived there, no. And my room was right next door. And I'm sitting there trying to watch TV. She starts playing. I turn up the TV. But so there's where after they get an argument, he tells him, "You go and practice your violin." And so the thing is, he has pre-recorded his violin on a cassette tape because it's the '90s, and he puts it in the player and he plays it where he sneaks out to go do something else. He does one that's a startup one, and he switches it and puts it where he starts playing. And you can visibly see that something is wrong with Denise when this happens. When the violin music is playing. But then she goes up, smashes the cassette player, and then doesn't tell the dad that the son wasn't in there because they just cussed something else. And I'm like, how come we know the weakness for later? Because we need this comic book so we know the weakness. I'm like, hello, it's violins. Hello? 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 No? No. We already know the weakness. So why do we have this comic book MacGuffin? And wouldn't you know it, this comic book that has the all-important information is one of 3 copies ever made, and it's $500. I like how the grandpa's like, I'll give you $5 for it. And the guy just looks at him like, are you stupid? He's like, if I was to go for that, I'd be the biggest idiot. So no, they gotta pay $500 for it. And if I'm there, I'm like, well, can I just go through it quick? They probably wouldn't agree to that either, but no. So he finds out that Denise is going to go after Wendy, so he tries to save her. She's in her underwear again. I did laugh, though, because, Denise then reveals herself as a hideous monster, and they cover her with a blanket. She falls through the window and runs off, and then you just see him go. She's like, hey, I would too. It's Amy Dolan. She's gorgeous. Come on. So now she believes her, and she's willing to put $100 up for the thing. So I have $150, which means I need $350. So he sells his violin, which I immediately went, wait, hold on. Hold on. So he bought this to find out the weakness, but we know the weakness is violin music. See, Chucky was right. Violins are bad. So he's going to get this book, he's going to open it, see that violins are the solution, and be like, fuck, I just sold my violin. We don't even get that. Because again, they have to write these characters as stupid, because I am seething at this decision. So he sells the violin, buys the comic book. So even this plan here says You get the loan on his violin, buy $500 comic book. Simply gain the defeating information, then return the comic book and pay the pawnbroker. So why wasn't the sequence? Okay, here's your $500. Give me the comic book. Let's see, violins. Cool. Take it back. Give me the money. I'm a violin back. Bye, evil mommy. No, because we still got a half hour left of this goddamn movie. So instead, he doesn't read the comic book right away, and he goes home, gets caught with it. The dad finds it, and after finding out, he spent $500 on it. And that's why I say Alan Thicke is the dumbest dad ever in this movie. Because I'm sorry. I'm sitting there in front of a fire. I'm enjoying myself. My kid comes in with a comic book he says he paid $500 for. And I'm marching my way back to that comic book store to get the $500 back. This thing is $500. Your kid paid $500 for this. And you rip it. Pisses me off. So Todd and Wendy search through the garbage trying to find the piece that tells them what the weakness is. And they don't find it. And at this point I'm going, what? We already know what it is. Why are you dragging this out? Look, it's one thing if you didn't have the scene where the violin music messes with her. Right? It's one thing. But for you to show your audience the weakness, and we just now have to sit through these characters still trying to figure it out when we know what it is and we're screaming at the TV, it's violins. It's like, why? So it's wedding day time, right? Oh, wouldn't you know, the only piece missing from the garbage is the one piece that tells them what it is. So at first I didn't get that. So when the wedding day arrives, he's doing this stupid shit. I'm like, why not just do the violins? He doesn't know yet. I didn't realize that. I guess I missed it. This was around the time I got my mail, but I paused it. So I don't know why I missed it. But anyway, the wedding day arrives. And so Todd's first idea is to wax the steps so the niece will fall and reveal her true form. It doesn't work. She just falls down. She's fine. Then the ambulance shows up or something. Fire department. I don't understand that one. The minister. Okay, so I'm laughing my ass off, and I don't know why. The minister, played by John Astin, is standing there. He's trying to do the thing. And he's going, and I just start laughing my ass off. Something funny about Gomez Adams trying to perform a ceremony and just coughing. Though I will admit, it does get kind of annoying when it just keeps happening. And I'm like, is there a punchline to this? Or is he just coughing? I thought there was going to be some sort of thing. Right? I don't know. And much to my surprise, they actually get married, and I went, what? No, this should be where it stopped. No, they do this. It's very weird. After the wedding, he finds the last piece of the comic book underneath the couch that reveals the violin music, something we've known since like the 45-minute mark of this damn movie. Yet they can't reveal it. Don't reveal it to us then. That's my problem with this reveal. If you're going to make it a big reveal, don't reveal it to us first. Okay? Because it. So, He talks to Wendy, who's back in this movie, who shows up to talk to Flem in a very nice top. Not Flem, her. Very nice. Very nice, you know what I mean? And I like how I did laugh at this because Corey Feldman is telling these other people that they suck at playing music. I'm the comeback king. But they suck at music. Okay. Anyway. So George and Denise are going to have their happy time as a couple. So they set up the amps, and do the cassette recording for some reason, because we have to pay off the baseball metaphors that Grandpa was doing. They didn't just leave the cassette tape with Wendy. He has to throw it so that Grandpa can catch it with the glove. I'm like, okay, it's a nice payoff to that, but why didn't she already have it? She puts it in and starts playing the music. And again, I'm yelling at the TV because Alan Thicke is the dumbest motherfucker. He's like, oh, it's Todd. He's serenading us. This becomes even more frustrating when they make a reveal. But he sold the violin. He does not have the violin. So how could he be serenading you, you fucking idiot? And again, it becomes more frustrating. Well, Denise turns into the monster and knocks him out with a wine bottle. Champagne. Is it champagne or wine? I'm talking about wine bottle, not champagne. Wine, and knocks him out. And she's incapacitated by the music, but psych! And she pops back up and goes after Todd. The harpy returns and destroys the cord. But, which one do you think it might be over? George comes out, revealing he bought back the violin from the pawn shop. This makes the whole, oh, he's serenading us thing even more dumber. Why would he think that his son, who doesn't have a violin, is serenading them? Especially when you have the violin in your own closet. I do like when he comes out and he's like, hello, sweetheart. And he starts playing it. She explodes, right? The harpy is killed with the baseball reference. That's the payoff. The violin music kills Denise. She disintegrates. And Todd and his dad are okay now. And then we get the most... Oh, we have to go back to the mom, right? I would have settled with she just ate the mom. But we know she's wrapped in a cocoon. So we're like, oh, we have to go back to the mom thing. So the two of them are just hiking around the area where they were when they found Denise. And they find a cave, which they realize is the Tropopkin cave. They're talking about superheroes, by the way. And I cringe every time I don't think it says Aquaman. Aqua! Not Aqua. It's like back in the Pokemon. No, it's Pokemon. You play that Pokemon card game? You play that Pokemon game? It's Pokemon. Aquaman. Who could be? Who would win in the fight? Superman or Captain Marvel? At this time, I do believe it was Shazam, not the female Captain Marvel, but Shazam, Superman. Unless Shazam knew Superman's weakness, because Shazam doesn't really have a weakness. Not really. get Superman around kryptonite, Shazam can beat him. But no, they find a cave, and they find a cocoons, and there's two people. I don't know who the first guy is. The second one looks like a scoutmaster, and the third one, wouldn't you know it, is the mom, and they're all happy. And she says, well, "Did anything happen while I was gone?" And I'm just like, the movie ends with this, like, "Oh, wacky," but I'm sitting here going, "Yeah, divorce is coming soon." Because I could see it. They get home, or not even home. They just mention Denise or something. I mean, wait a minute. I disappear for 6 months, and you're going to marry another woman? Again, this would make much more sense if they reveal that Trump Hopkins can use some sort of pheromone or spell to control their mates. But it doesn't. So it still makes no sense how he was ready to remarry another woman 6 months after the disappearance, not the death, the disappearance of his wife. They never found a body. All this would make much more sense if they came up with that spell thing, or if the mom was just eaten. Right? If the mom was just eaten, then it would make more sense. But no, it's... So, after all these years, what did I think of StepMonster? Well, first of all, my memory of watching this is I kept watching this now. I don't remember if I ever watched this at my grandma's house. The memory I have is that someone, like a babysitter's house or something, I watched it, at least the first time. Because I vaguely remember what it looks like. It doesn't remind me of any other babysitter's house. Could it be? I don't know. But for all these years, I finally sat down and watched the movie, and I would tell you it's the middle of the road. It's the middle of the road. There are some frustrating things, but it's one of those things where you kind of understand why they do it, or the movie wouldn't happen. But if they took out the scene earlier where the audience sees that the violin music is her weakness, I think it would have flowed better, because you're just sitting there frustrated at how long it takes to reveal something we already know. That's my biggest problem with this movie. So it gets in the middle of the road, mostly because of Amy Dolenz. Gorgeous woman. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Amy Dolenz? No, what are your thoughts on StepMonster? Let me console. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.